Hello and welcome to another sci-fi creepypasta with me, Zero Option. If you like what I do, hit that like and sub button and leave a comment down below. With all of that out of the way, let's read The Vivisection of Sergeant Shane Eastwood. I believe we have found your temporal lobe, which means you should be receiving translation now. We call that Wernicke's area, Sergeant Eastwood replied, wondering if the translation went both ways. Excellent. The contralateral neural connection slowed our search. It was a clicking sound, apparently untranslatable. You've evolved a moderate intelligence, but we're baffled by the rest of your development. No defensive or offensive capabilities to speak of, other than standing erect in binocular vision. Eastwood couldn't see them. No one had seen the aliens yet. They had arrived and eradicated Mumbai as an anti-resistance warning. Then they demanded a volunteer to familiarize themselves with human biology. A willing subject was necessary, as they intended to vivisect him, and previous attempts had shown that the human aversion to vivisection contaminated their data. Sergeant Eastwood had volunteered. Our own scientists have wondered about the evolutionary stall in humans. Our best guess is the opposable thumb and superior intellect removed the need for adaptation. We can create tools faster than nature. We can control our own evolution. The alien voice hummed to itself. Question. You show an enormous capacity for violence as a race, but it appears you have attempted to self-select this trait out of your DNA. True, Eastwood said. We've not been successful. On the contrary, you're surprisingly docile. When we arrived in your system with our tiny scout ship, scarcely a fourth the size of your moon, your people rolled over without complaint. You will make an ideal slave race. This vivisection is merely the last formality before sending the all clear to our battle cruisers. Glad I could help, Eastwood said. What's next? Let's move on to the pulmonary system. You have a four-chambered heart with limited lifespan, perhaps in the 3 to 5 billion beats range. Nothing unique. On the contrary, the human heart is what sets us apart from other animals of the earth. The alien made a disgusted sound. You speak in metaphor. We have a similar metaphor in reference to our spleens. The spleen is the seat of the affections. Biologically speaking, however, it is of nothing of interest, Sergeant. Eastwood laughed at that. Even through his chest was splayed out on the table and his head wide open, he grinned. You're mistaken. My heart led me to volunteer for this because my wife, my mate, and my two young daughters, although it might not make logical sense to you, I felt I could protect them by coming to your ship. Your feelings are irrelevant. We've already moved out of your orbital range of your planet's weapons, and your heart has misled you. Your presence here will not save your family. Besides, when I speak of your heart, I speak of biological interest, not metaphorical nonsense. Eastwood clicked his tongue. You have not investigated it thoroughly yet. Do you not see a small black mark on the superior vena cava? More clicking. The alien said something about the ancient sign of aggression when he bared his teeth. Eastwood found that to be funny too. He knew this probably meant that the time-released pharmaceuticals from Earth United Forces were finally kicking in. The alien said it had found the mark. Eastwood directed him to follow 9 millimeters down and to the left. The creature gasped. What is that? I told you, we're in control of our own evolution now. We don't have to wait to be dominated by galactic overlords, adapt to them over millennia, and then find a way out from under their thumbs generations later, assuming you even have thumbs. We make our own adaptations now. He heard a tapping as the creature touched a casing with a claw or scalpel. And what is this particular organ? It's called a pocket nuke. Ah, and what is its function? Sergeant Eastwood grinned and said a silent prayer. He activated the timer. I'm glad you asked.